Okay, so we have deployed a three-tier application that includes web tier, application tier, and a database tier. And the VPC has two availability zones. And currently, the VPC is deployed in just one region. To make it even more highly available, we can deploy it in another region. And it has an internet gateway attached to it, just for the public publicly accessible, just to make it publicly accessible. And inside that we have multiple subnets, two public subnets for the web tier and four private subnets for the application tier and database tier. There's an external load balancer which is redirecting the request from the internet to the backend servers, I mean the EC2 servers. And the reason why we are using the load balancer is that so that we can distribute the traffic among the multiple EC2 servers. And these EC2 servers are part of the auto scaling group. It's like if one EC2 gets crashed due to any reason, it will spin up a new EC2 instance and replace the previous one, which ensures high availability and fault tolerance. Then we have another load balancer, which is internal load balancer, which will redirect the request from the web EC2 instances to the app servers that are placed in the private subnet. The difference between the public and the private subnet is that public has access to the internet, while private does not. So let's talk about the app tier now. So app tier servers are redirecting the request, the API calls to the database tier. I mean, in this case, we have used Amazon Aurora since it has a high performance and efficiency is good as compared to the traditional SQL servers. And if we see here, there's a Aurora Read replica, so which is like secondary server. So just in case if the primary server goes down, so we can promote this secondary server to primary server. And so in all the levels of this uh, architecture, we have deployed high availability and fault tolerance. One thing I missed to talk about is that there's a NAT gateway attached here so that our private subnets have access to the internet. And other thing is like if I talk about the security, so security groups are in place at all the levels. So let's say if I talk about the web tier, the application tier, so everything is secure. So for more security, we could have used WAF, WAF, but in this project we haven't used it. So this is the architecture. Thank you.
As my friend has explained about the architecture of this application, I'm going to talk about security considerations that we have taken measures here. So I'm going to talk about the VPC configuration. We've used VPC to isolate all these three tiers. Architecture implements separate subnets for each tier, public, private, and another private subnet for the database. We have created subnet isolation, ensure the web tier is in the public subnet while the application and the database tiers are in private subnets, so that the application tier and the database tier cannot be accessed via internet, and there's an external security layer using the web tier. So we have created security groups and network ACLs. Security groups are stateful that allows traffic, but it does not deny the traffic. So we have created NACL as well to deny the traffic as they are stateless. So implemented NACL for additional layer for security at the subnet level. We have created IAM role to access the instance rather than creating a URL. So it creates more security for the instance. We have created we for the data encryption, we for the data security, we have created encryption. We encrypt the data using the AWS KMS key management service. We encrypted the data in transit using TLS. We For database security, security feature like AWS RDS encryption, SSL connection, and database parameter groups to ensure secure connection. We have implemented CloudWatch for monitoring and logging, and setting up alarm for any unusual activity performance issues. And we have created alerts in case of any issues with the web servers or the application servers or the database servers. We have enabled the AWS CloudTrail for logging all the API calls to investigate if there's any issue related to the servers. We have also enabled the VPC flow logs to monitor the packets coming in and out in the application.